Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Make sure you guys are liking the video. And if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And also make sure you guys are following me over on Snapchat, same handle at Lakeysha Keysha. Make sure you guys are following me on Facebook, Instagram, and do not forget about Twitch, where I'm gonna go over there and be doing most of my live videos over there. So make sure y'all go ahead and follow me, honey. We got to get into kenyamoore because kenyamoore is, yeah, what y'all call her, the shade assassin, because she was so shady in this new video that she just did to Britt Eady. And also, let's get into people saying that she's returning. Kenyamoore is not coming back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta now that they got a lawsuit. That's not gonna look well with regards to everything that is now happening.
She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the clock. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
And y'all, I don't even know where to start because I watched Kenya's video and I was like, am I the only one seeing the shade? Baby, Kenya was shady. And we're going to get into that. But before we get into it, what I want you guys to know is Kenya was actually going to have a sit down, her own interview with Andy, which I thought would have been a good opportunity for her to, answer whatever questions. But I also feel like Kenya could have just came to the reunion just like everybody else. I feel like if you're going to be on reality TV, if you're that sensitive, you just don't need to be on this show. I mean, if we're going to look at little bitty nuances, then look at the whole picture, because there's been so many things that has been done over the years that if we're going to become sensitive, then we just need to be sensitive to everything. Okay. And then with Britt coming out saying that the picture wasn't her, I'm just confused, because if it wasn't you, girl, what are you embarrassed about? I'm so confused, because how am I embarrassed of a picture that's not me? And then you say, oh, well, the network made it seem as if it was me. Ma'am, if you would stop going around putting things in your mouth, not knowing where that, photo or picture is, you wouldn't have nothing to worry about. So the fact that you got these pictures out in the world, is nobody's fault but your own. So you getting mad at the network for what you said you did when you were underage. Like, make it make sense. This girl is crazy. Somebody gotta make it make sense. She don't know when she did the picture, if she did the picture, but you on TV crying, saying it was at when you were you were underage. All these damn lies. Britt Eady is a liar. She tells so many lies, she can't keep up with it. And that's what I always say about people that lie. If you're going to be a liar, have a good memory, because I'm not knowing or understanding how people that lie remember the lies. And this is exactly what I'm saying about Britt Eady. She lies so damn much. She doesn't remember them. She can't keep up with them. She doesn't know how she correlated them in her mind. Because, girl, you said that this was something that happened when you were underage, because you tried to make Kenya look real bad by saying, oh, they were underage. Girl, you lie so much. We don't know what to believe. But what we really understand and believe is that you are just a scammer. That's just what we think about you. And it has nothing to do with Kenya, but everything to do with you. Now, let's kind of get into it. What I said is, they said that Kenya was actually going to sit down with Andy, but what ended up happening is Britt Eady filed her lawsuit, which kind of canceled out everything, because it seems that they were not able to sit down and kind of have the one-on-one. Then Andy is like over it, because Andy is like, this is reaching a level of petty that's beyond even anything that I've saw. And he has a box of popcorn. Like, listen, this is a show all in itself. These girls are suing the network based on these frivolous lawsuits, crazy stuff, that now they got to go through these lengthy court hearings Girl, why was you even on this damn show? You clearly had a communication problem. Nobody likes you. What's the real issue? I feel like she's probably angry because she knows she wasn't coming back. So it's like, look, let me try to get the money over here. Well, what we also saw, and this wore me out too, because how many times does Kenya need to apologize for the same thing? I feel like Kenyamoore must have apologized about 4 times. I don't understand the relevance of her to continually have to apologize for the exact same action. She's not apologizing for something that happened after the fact. She's apologizing for this same situation. Now, the problem here is y'all took her off the show. She apologized. Then she apologized. Then she apologized. It's given, Kenya, they really don't want you on this show. Now that Britt, we know she's not going to be on the show. Okay, it's default. Okay, let us get Kenya back. But I feel like the way that they did Kenya was kind of wrong. I really do. Because if you're going to put her off for this season, put her off. Stop going back to her, telling her to apologize. When Britt Eady, ghetto Britt Eady, said she had a pow, why isn't she apologizing 10 times? So I just feel like now they're feeling like, okay, let's run back to Kenya. Okay, we can go back and get Kenya. But I just feel like Kenya, it really doesn't give, honey, that they want you over here. Now, Kenya said, I'm disappointed to not be a part of the Reunion 16 reunion taping today. I just feel like this is something that Bravo had her say, or she wants to be on this show so bad that she will not give it up. And it's given begging. It's given that you're begging. That's what it's given. She said, please know I take full accountability for my actions and deeply apologize to all those affected, including Brittany. Okay. The crew, the cast, the guests, the viewers. I look forward to seeing you all back on Bravo soon. So it's giving, Kenya is either desperate, needs to get back on the show to make some money. I mean, she did a video where she tells us she has this and that going. It ain't really giving that you got all of these things going, because it's really giving that you are begging. Because why do you need to consistently apologize for the exact same thing? It's giving, Kenya, that they don't appreciate you, and that they thought you were gone, and that they was gonna have this Brit chick pay her a little of nothing and she would be happy. But it seems like for some reason, it wouldn't be able to be me. Like, it's just too much. And if y'all read the comments, because I said, why do I feel like she keep apologizing? This is exactly what they're saying in the comments. LOL. Bravo must have made the call and said, we need our star back. Just tweet an apology. Again, how many apologies does she need to it's given, it's over, she's over apologized. The fact that Kenya is still harping on this publicly, she is too smart, too strong, and too witty to be begging for her spot. Create your own show. It's over. You made a mistake. You doubled down. Take take time to make your way outside of this. And I really have to agree. How many times does she need to say sorry? Somebody else is like, she has apologized more than once. So I need Bravo and NBC to put their big boy pants on and let Kenya back on this show. They gave Portia, Phaedra, and plenty of the housewives across the franchise countless chances for much worse. So go on and give Kenya that peach back so we can try to save this show. And let me just tell y'all something. Kenya couldn't save this show when she was on it. So the show is trash. I mean, and that's a whole nother video. I feel like the reason why, the Real Housewives of Atlanta is trash is because it has lost its authenticity. Like, who's authentic on there? These folks are acting. It doesn't have that, authentic ness. It's just not there. Everybody is acting. nobody is being their true authentic selves, and that's why the show is even trash. If y'all, I mean, we can like Kenya or don't like Kenya, but when Kenya is a performance herself. Kenya was going through a divorce and she barely even talked about it. So I feel like she was really good when she was, on the show originally, but as they progress on these shows, they learn how to hide their lives and just focus on things that we really don't care about. Because I feel like what these ladies fail to realize is the people who are real supporters of the show. We grew up with the show, and essentially, we're all in the same age group. So, we really want to see authenticness on this show because a lot of their number one fans are in their early 50s. Some of them may be in the middle 50s. You may even have some that's in the late, but I would say the number one fans is probably in that 50th age group. So we kind of grew up a little bit together. We don't necessarily want to see, we don't care about the drama, but we don't want to see a whole bunch of it because it's just not real. So let me get back on track. So some people are saying, Kenya can save the show. She can't. I mean, she was already on the show. This would have been just, she's off the show now, but she had been on the show faithfully for some time now. Again, the show just doesn't have the authentic. It's gone. It's gone. So people in the comments are saying the same thing. Girls, stop apologizing. Set up something for yourself. And I feel like these ladies be on this show and it's like a job. And I tell people this all the time. There's nothing wrong with your job. Have you something else? Because if you were to lose your job, what you gonna do? Please don't even think about unemployment, baby, because that'll just be enough to pay your insurance, maybe for your car, and maybe buy you some food, but have something else going on for yourself. I just feel like with this situation, Kenya has overly apologized, and that's a clear indication that they really don't like you like that, because there is no way that you need to say the same thing over and over and over again. Like, how many times have Andy have gotten himself in the midst of lawsuits? He's still there. I mean, does he ever apologize for anything? So why is Kenya constantly apologizing for doing her job? Okay, she went a little bit too far, but damn, as she has stated, that is kind of what they have always done. So I feel like maybe this year or this season, I feel like they were really struggling. Maybe like a storyline, because we've been watching the show and it's trash. Because they could have just took that part out. But if they would have took that out, what really did they have? Nothing. So moving on. If you guys had the opportunity to watch Kenya's live video on her YouTube channel, Kenya Moore, that is the name of her channel. Now, she goes into talking about her spa and then throws some shade, which I'm going to say is directed at Brittany, because as y'all been, well, not as you all, but as they have been saying on the show, who is this?
What is it?
So who is this hoe? Who is this hoe? Britt Eady is her name. This is style. They want to know who is this hoe. But Kenya Moore has some things to say, y'all. Let's get into it.
That just really pissed me off. Actually, it didn't piss me off. It's just like, you kind of ask yourself, well, how famous am I? Because you just really never know how famous you are until stupid stuff like this happens all the time. People have been stalking the salon, okay? Kenyamoore Hair Spa is open. We do customers every single week. However, there have been some crazies that are reporting, oh, it looks abandoned, no one's coming in, we're not doing business. I just have one question. Why do you care? Is it your money? I spent the $300,000 to open this place, not you. So these trolls.
Okay, I just want to jump in there because Kenya is talking about her hair spa. And, the sad part about it is she doesn't realize how it seems like she's missing the entire point. So there's been a few people, I don't know these people, but I have, read about it in the blogs, who went to her hair spa. She's calling these people trolls, which is to me an indication that there's something that she knows that she doesn't think we know. So these people are not trolls. I know of a lady who's a blogger. I won't even say her name, but she literally doesn't even live in Georgia. She does blogging and was in the Atlanta area, watched the show, heard about Kenyamoore Hair Spa, went there for a service appointment and it was closed. So, of course, she looked through the window and it wasn't even open. I mean, it was literally closed. But this was during a time that Kenya had went on Carlos King's show and said that her spa was open. So let's just start there. Now, Kenya is mentioning bloggers. She has to understand where the information is coming from. Bloggers have looked into if her salon is open, and it's because it's not. And I'm going to tell y'all this because it's not, and I know. So, where I was going to get my hair done was directly across the street from where her salon is, and I never even said anything about it, but I'm going to say something now. If I looked out the window, there's Kenya's spa. And in all honesty, she does these massages and stuff and wash your hair. I actually went to some Asian people and I said, you know what? I'm going to try Kenya's place out. But I said, well, I don't want to go and make an appointment online because I remember she kept saying that people were booking these appointments and not showing up. So I said, you know what? When I'm in the area, I'm going to just go in and make it. It's never open. The place is never open. And I've never, ever even spoke about it because I'm like, it is what it is. So the reason that Kenya is going so hard with calling these people trolls is because she knows for a fact that the place is not open. And I feel like this is the problem that the public has with Kenya. She lies too much. Just be honest. And I think she kind of said that in a previous video that she struggled with the salon, which is okay. Well, just say the reason why it's closed is because we're not there unless we have an appointment or whatever the case may be. Because the people who have come out and looked at her salon, those people don't even know each other or didn't know each other prior to actually going there. It's just like when you hear information like something is closed and then you go and it's closed. Now you're like, well, wait a minute. They said that a few years ago. So Kenya she's calling the people who actually wanted to support her business trolls. So that's how you know she actually need to maybe have a business manager that can help her advertise so she actually knows what to do, because you're calling potential clients trolls when all they really wanted to do was actually experience a service that you're not able to provide or whatever the case may be. But of course, she's not going to take accountability.
Decide to try to ruin my business, leave 1-star reviews on Google. They've never set foot in the Kenyamoore hair salon, and it's really getting weird. If this business closes, I have other means of income. I have other businesses, and I have money. So
I have to say something, because Kenya, if she can just appear to be a regular person at least one time in her life, all this phony shit is where people just miss her with this. Kenya, I hope you do have multiple jobs, because based on this right here, let's just show it. It don't look like you got multiple jobs because you're constantly begging to get your old job back. And people can respect you and like you when they can understand you. But all of these lies and all of this stuff that she's constantly saying, it just don't make sense. You may have multiple jobs, but this one on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I think this was probably the one that maybe paid all of the bills, and that's okay. But you may want to humble yourself because you just need to, because we know, sweetie, you don't got it like that.
what do you have? Time. That's what you have. A lot of time. I don't have the time.
And this is why your business is really not successful, because These are obviously people. Think about it. Just think about it like this. Let's say they just wanted to go there and see her spa. Girl, that is time these folks is taking out of their day to look at your salon so that they can talk about how nice it is. But you're calling people who want to come to your place of business trolls. So what you're doing is making people be like, okay, the business couldn't be real because based on the energy that she's giving, it's proven what these people have already said. It seems like the spa, in my opinion, was actually a business that was going to open. But I think what more than likely happened is she did not organize it effectively. I know someone specifically, and I'm never going to say their names. And what I was told is Kenya does not want to pay to have people to, like, she talks about Kandi being a great business person, but Kandi has a team that she pays. And that is what you don't see with these other housewives. It's just them. Kandi is paying for her team to, all of this stuff that you see Kandi doing. She has people to do this and that. That take money. You actually have to take the money out your pocket and pay people to do these things. What I've been told about Kenya is she doesn't want to pay.
So I'm busy working, okay? I'm booked and busy. Whether you see people coming in here or not, it's still a place of business that I pay for. So if it's not your money and you're not paying my rent, why do you care?
Now, what sense does that make? She says, why do you care? If people, I'll give you an example. I wanted to go. And I was like, well, when I'm in the area, I'll stop. Because what I wasn't going to do is go online, make an appointment, pay a fee, and then schedule a time and have nobody not be there. So I said, nope, I'm not going to waste my time like that. If I'm over there, I'll stop. But she doesn't seem to understand that when the public think that you're really not open, they're not going to really patronize you. So I don't think she gets that, but for some reason she thinks that people want to waste their time into looking into her business, which is given a small little level of delusion.
I understand the stalking nature of some of these predatory blogs.
So she called the people stalkers. She's calling people stalkers that want to patronize her business. Can y'all help me out? I'm confused.
It's not all bloggers because sometimes it's just reporting what's happening. I get clicks, that makes the money. So I get that. I'm a business to them. And this is my business. And I will continue to do charity work and pay people's bills. The food you're eating now, I paid for it. The rent you pay because you don't.
You see that level of delusion. Now, that's kind of something that her and Miss Britt Eady may be, kind of have in common. Because, girl, Kenya, you ain't clicking like that. Like, I mean, people will watch a video about Kenya, but girl, they're not watching them like that now. They just not. Now, I know people that they just love those videos. Kenya, it's not your video though, sweetheart. And then Kenya goes into shading the people talking about they don't own a house when they said that she owed for taxes at her house that she didn't pay. You see what I'm saying, girl? Make it make sense. Make it make sense, Kenya. Okay, and who is she talking about on her knees or on her back to make a dollar? Y'all already know she talking about Britt Eady, but in simple form, Kenya, that is kind of how she kind of detached from the public because it's, girl, what the hell are you talking about? You are shading people that is trying to come into your business. Those people are not trying to come in your business and just because you're not a clickable like that person. I mean, people don't run up the numbers for Kenya, okay? Not her. But the fact of the matter that she really thinks that people is going out there to do a video on her, when no, because they can do videos on other people and make money. You know what I mean? So it's a level of delusion that I wish she would come out of, with regards to this whole situation. But she definitely wants to come back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's very hard for me to believe that she has anything going on that is paying equal to or more money than Housewives, because if she did, she wouldn't be available to keep putting up these apology. Kenya needs to come down to reality and get out of the cloud. Kenya is an employee. She was let go. You are a regular employee. You know what I hate about, these reality stars? It's like, you guys be on these shows for years. I don't know. Let's say you made $1 million. Let's say you made $500,000. That's a lot of money to just come on camera and live your life. But the fact of the matter is that you guys are so desperate because whatever money you made, either you didn't keep it or you didn't invest it right. But the fact of the matter is, it's like you guys are like a machine, because if you stay off of these reality shows too long, you're going to be broke. Just like they're reporting that her taxes wasn't paid. So it's just like, don't try to put yourself up in the clouds as if you're better when you're not. Like, some of these people on YouTube is making a lot of money. I'm just not one of them yet, but I'm just saying, when you come and you're shading these blogger people are self-made. They are creating a lane for themselves. They can't be fired. So I just wish Kenya would come to reality and stop trying to make it seem as if it's something that it's not. Because like I said, the people who went out and went to her salon, one of the ladies, she's not even from here, so she had no connection with anybody here other than when she went, it was closed. But what drew attention to her video is, not only was it closed, she looked through the window and it was clearly not even operable. But what made her think that, okay, is this some kind of mess that Kenya is lying about? Because we know she lied. It's because Kenya had just did a video. She had did that video with Carlos King, if y'all recall. And she told Carlos that her salon was open. That woman headed up to her salon to find out that it was in fact closed. So y'all let me know what y'all think.